So I can see it. Whoa. And that's about as close as I want to get. We're literally looking down into a volcanic crater. That is fucking crazy. Holy shit. Yeah.
If it was a little bit foggier,
you wouldn't be able to see that, and you wouldn't know what's over the edge. That's why I was telling Alexa, please don't get any closer to the edge there.
Oh, is that basalt?
Looks like basalt. Look at that. All right, so I want to give you a size comparison of my hand here in comparison to the size of just this little wedge. So my hand is like this little tiny corner here. So remember that. I'll pan back. So my hand is like this tiny little area here. You can see this rope wrapping around also has that same symbolic representation, and most of the unusual megaliths, like at the Tenai-sen shrine, the Arahabaki megalith, Arahabaki being this plasma deity associated with Venus. That huge megalith is also surrounded by the twisted rope symbolizing the cumulonimbus thunderstorm cloud and the lightning Shide symbols. This thing is crazy looking.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the land of Chem. I'm your host and the author. My name is Jeffrey Drum. Thank you all so much for joining me again.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Now, today, recently, everyone in the community has been talking about ancient Japan. So now I'm going to take you with me to investigate some structures that I can guarantee you have never seen before. Ancient volcano technology, stone circles, Japanese Stonehenge, floating stones, and a whole lot more. This is Sunday Site Visit 127, Megalithic Technology of Ancient Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you all so much for the support. I think that's it for today's intro, so without further ado, let's get right to it. I wish you could see. Well, you can see it, but I don't know if it translates on camera how steep this incline is. Beautiful shot of the valley there. And things are about to get interesting. Cold wind is blowing. Super foggy up there. Looks nice. You ready for this?
Sure.
This was the easy part, I have a feeling.
Yeah, this is totally an easy part.
Yeah, this is gonna be all right.
Let's study rocks and go back.
Yeah, a little geology lesson here at the bottom. So apparently at the top of this hill is the first crater, and then we have to go down and then back up to the location of the sacred artifact. And this is like tiny gravel and sand, so it's super slippery. All right, here we go. Enough bitching. More hiking. Let's go. Look at that. And then the other side just disappears. You can't see shit in that direction. And we learned on Mount Goyo to stay close, because in this mist or fog, I mean, if you go 30 meters apart. You cannot see the other person. So we're gonna stay close. Nice and slow. So the incline of this is crazy. Like every step up is like stepping up 3 stairs. I'm sure you can hear that wind. Oh, it feels so good. Really, really nice. Cool breeze. All right, so I've been going off the marked trail. There's yellow dots showing the easiest way up, and I keep going the hard way. Yeah, this is much better here. Look at this shit. Just these huge crags and shards of volcanic material. Crazy. All right, almost there. I can see the top, but it's pretty far up there still. Yeah, we're in a cloud. This is like the surface of Mars. These huge iron oxide formations. This whole thing here is iron oxide. Pumice. Iron oxide pumice. Hey, thank you. This is crazy. You can't see anything in that direction. You can't see anything. Well, yeah, I mean, we're on. Hey, babe, seriously. Stay in the center. Okay. So if anybody wants to come to Miyazaki and climb a volcano in search of a sacred ancient metal artifact, Amanosakahoko. Highly recommended. This has been awesome. Holy shit. So that's the visitor center. But I would say this is not a beginner hike. But we're almost there. I'm pretty sure this is the... Well, we said that last time on Mount Goya. We were like, oh, we're at the top. But then that wasn't the top. We still had another 20 minutes to go. So I can see it. Whoa. And that's about as close as I want to get. We're literally looking down into a volcanic crater. That is fucking crazy. Holy shit. Yeah.
If it was a little bit foggier,
you wouldn't be able to see that, and you wouldn't know what's over the edge. That's why I was telling Alexa, please don't get any closer to the edge there.
What is that, basalt?
Looks like basalt. Taro! Okay, I can still see him. I see him down there. All right. Man, you can't see anything. I mean, look up here. I mean, you know, to that rock right there. That's, I don't know, 30 feet, 10 meters maybe. After that, it's pretty tough to see. You can see why mountaineering is such a dangerous undertaking. All right, enough blabbering, more work. All right, so we've reached the top of the crater, but we're still not quite there. So now we're gonna descend. I mean, just so you can see what it looks like. The wind is absolutely whipping.
600 meters.
600 meters to go.
We got it.
Almost there.
Yeah, there's
But the wind is crazy up here. You can see the fog, the mist. I mean, you can't see, that's, here is about maybe 10 feet in front. You can't see anything. So we've been very careful on our way up here, photo shoot. We're not even there yet.
Just in case.
Yeah.
people know.
All right, let's go. There, you can hear that wind. It is crazy. So slowly but surely, almost to the target. And then we go back down. We'll back up and then back down. All right, this part has gotten extremely challenging. Very rugged, uneven terrain. On the last stretch, we got about 300 meters to go. Let's go. Please watch your step. No shit. 160 meters to go. No, I didn't see any butterflies.
Am I hallucinating?
Yep.
Feels good.
Feels pretty good. I don't want to, I haven't proceeded any further from here, but the trail kind of disappears and we're at like a flat area. So it seems like this should be it. Somewhere up here. Hell yeah, this is it. And surprise, surprise. So before I pan up, of course, they have a modern one installed right next to the ancient one. So before I pan up, let me set my bag here. All right. Whew. I think this is my first on-camera appearance today. Absolutely drenched. So the mythology is that the son of the sun god and Susanoo, the thunder and lightning god, descended from the heavens upon the top of this sacred mountain, and he thrust his metallic spear into the top of the mountain. And this artifact is still here today. The mysterious sword, spear, halberd, trident, however you'd like to refer to it, Amanosakahoko. And before I show you the artifact, look at what we have installed right here, right next to it. The modern version. So we investigated a little bit more just to be accurate. So this is actually a flagpole, but this is the lightning rod here. And it's kind of, it still has the trident, the three pieces of the spear at the top, and this is the exact same as what we see at the pagoda as well, at the top of the lightning rod, the trident, the exact same as what's at the top over here. And given that we have climbed all this way, the wind is so strong up here, I'm gonna go grab my bag. I don't want this thing blowing away down the side of the mountain. Oh God. Oh. I was gonna say, we came all this way. I don't give a fuck about these ropes. We're going up here to see this thing. There it is. Bronze spear at the top of this sacred ancient mountain. And it is right next to a modern lightning rod. Surprise, surprise. I didn't know that modern one was up here, but of course it is. And over here, there's another interesting little artifact. This pedestal. Cardinal directions. I'd have to get Teru to investigate. Perhaps in the place where an ancient obelisk once stood. So this is it. And this artifact was mentioned as far back as the 6th century AD, 600 AD, as being already installed in the mountain. It was already an established part of the mythology of this mountain in the 6th century AD. So this thing is absolutely an ancient artifact, the original date of which is uncertain. Now, of course, the original thing may have been removed and replicated, but it is said to have been originally cast from bronze. All right, good work. We are all, yeah.
I believe that was more like a mystical metal.
Right, like we were discussing at Mount Goyo, the mythical metal, now the name of it escapes my memory. But during our expedition to Mount Goyo is associated with this sacred, mythical, ancient metal that was also said to have been discovered at the top of Mount Goyo, perhaps the original sacred spear was also made of that metal. But this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The reason we hiked all the way up here. And there's a lot more on this artifact and the function coming up soon. But it's pretty clear given what is installed directly next to it. Badass. And the mythology around the mountain and the artifact itself makes it all that more interesting. All right. And now, the descent and snack time. All right. Pretty badass. And does anybody have signal on their phone up here?
I'll try. Do you want the compass?
Yeah, let's do the compass.
Hang on for one sec. We're gonna do some tests.
260.
Check this out.
Yeah. 230.
Now we're looking at,
Oh, 300.
it's going up to like 300.
Yeah.
274.
Yeah, it's definitely this road.
And the units that we're currently looking at are micro Tesla. So again, the average can be anywhere from like 20 to 60 micro Tesla. But you know, there's magnetic anomalies all over this thing. Getting some extremely high readings, 160, we were just showing 240. Mostly here on the east side.
Yeah.
Yep.
280. Oh, 400. Look.
Oh shit, yep. Yeah, 436 compared to, you know, when we step away, now step away from it. So now it's like 54 micro Tesla.
Yeah. That's wild.
Okay, so the name of the mythological Japanese metal that's associated with Mount Goyo is Hihirokane, and it is said to be an exceptional conductor of electricity. And now that I look at this thing, it's said to have been bronze, but now I'm questioning what the original metal that was used for this artifact. And let me step away from the thing here and I can show you. So magnetic field. So we're using our trusty magnetometer here. You know, approximately 45. But when I get closer to this thing, now it's jumping up to 53. Let me get a little bit closer here without crossing the threshold. Okay, so the closer I get, now it's 58, 59. So the magnetic field is getting much stronger the closer we get to this artifact. Go back down here again. Yep, back down to 46. Jumping between 45 and 46. See, I get as close as I can here. Yeah, now we're back up to 50. Try on this side again. It seems to like this side. Holy shit. Now we're up to 80. 90. 110. Look at this, just to confirm. See, I'm not full of shit. Look at that. It's 100.
114.
114.
Here.
So
Can you take a screenshot?
here again, it's 46, 47, 46, 47. And then here it's back up to 123 now. $130. Holy shit.
That's the highest we've ever seen.
That's the highest we've seen thus far. Yeah, on this trip. All right. So, a significantly stronger magnetic field at the top of this mountain around the sacred object. All right, looks like everybody's changing gear. It is cold and wet up here.
Just right here.
Yeah, just right here at the top. The concentration of the mist and the whipping wind, we're all drenched. All right, this is for you, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see this thing. A critical part of what we have been investigating here, the lightning technology and mythology of ancient Japan. Now, let's get the hell off this mountain and get to some snack time back at the car. All right, so we're on. So magnetic field again. This one's showing like 26 on this side. There you can see the artifact there. And getting closer. All right, so it drops down to as low as 24 and 25, 23 on this side.
Oh, it drops 24.
And then I'm gonna walk over to the other side. Over on this side. I mean, it's topping out at like 112, 160. And that's without the interference of the GoPro. I'm keeping my GoPro, you know, at a far distance when I pull away from it. So now here it's at 55, 54. Walk back around to the other side again here. Go around here. Yep, so it's down back to 30, 20 right here.
Wow. Oh, it's much more.
It's way higher. It jumped up to 160.
So what does this mean?
And I'm just going to test it again.
So it's east that way.
Yeah, here on this side, it's like 40. Back down to 20. You can see. And then we'll go around to this side, and it appears that the highest magnetic field over here is on the east side. I'm trying to get a good foothold here so I can get nice and close. Yeah, 120. Yeah, way higher. So the highest I got was 160. It was just showing 140 on this side of the artifact, which the average magnetic field can range from 20 to 60. Here it's going 69, 70 on this side. Yeah, about 60 or 70 on this side, but on the east side it goes way up. I mean, 100 units of difference in the magnetic field. Pretty crazy. All right, now back to the bottom. Looks like an emergency shelter here. This has been an absolutely wild adventure to get up here. I gotta get one more shot of this thing. You see the modern lightning rod trident over there. And the ancient trident spear. All right, awesome. We made it to the bottom. And we somehow missed this on the way up. But this is what we just did. So we're currently standing here. We hiked through the tree area to the bottom of the volcanic formation here, and we were walking around the rim of this crater, oh my God, looking down into the caldera here. When we got to the top, we then went back down further up the mountain to here. That was epic. Holy shit. About 4-hour round trip. And some of the most, again, just speechless. The scenery and the geology and the ancient artifact at the top, the sacred halberd, the spear. Crazy. All right. By the time you're watching this, we have already completed our hike in search of this artifact. The bronze halberd, or trident, lightning rod. You can see the two faces. Obviously this thing is a replica here in the visitor center. One of the most bizarre artifacts that we have discovered thus far. during our research expedition to investigate the lightning technology of ancient Japan. All right, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video, and please remember to subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube if you're interested in the physics and chemistry technology of a lost civilization and the function of the Egyptian pyramids and other ancient structures from across the world. Thank you all so much for the support. Now, back to the video.
Now, as a preface to what you are about to see, let me read these two short excerpts regarding the Kanayama Megalith site. Quote, 5,000 or more years ago, Jomon people constructed 3 megalithic sites as a living observatory for the sun's passage in the sky during its yearly cycle. These megaliths are tucked away in the Iwaya mountain valley of Hida Kamayama, a mysterious ancient unspoiled land. They are the most sophisticated astronomical megalithic constructions ever recorded in history anywhere. The enormous megaliths were shaped and ingeniously assembled, creating small apertures through which the sun would shine on certain days of the year at certain times of the day. From these observations, a calendar is determined which incorporates the 4 and 128-year leap year cycles. This calendar is 15 times more accurate than the current globally employed Gregorian calendar. It will take 51,000 years before making an error of 1 day. Thanks to years of tireless research, we now know that the megaliths were used to make regular observations of the sun as it rose and set between certain stones at important times during the changing of the seasons, particularly around the summer and winter solstices and the spring and autumn equinoxes. Careful observations of shadows and sunlights on the stones have shown that the builders of the megaliths were very much aware of the importance of those pivotal days of the year. For instance, it is clear that the builders saw the sky as consisting of 4 zones through which the sun traveled throughout the year. They also made good use of the natural environment of the site, carefully considering the geography and surrounding mountains. And here you can see the configuration of the megaliths at the Kanayama Stonehenge site and a preview of the solar viewing apertures. And for now, I will leave it at that, and will let you see the majesty of this bewilderingly complex site for yourself. So now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I hope you enjoy Sunday Site Visit 80 from the Japanese Stonehenge, the Kanayama Megaliths, and the Hoshigami Star Viewing Rocks.
But if it's like that old, 2000s, they must have talked about that actual position back then to be, right? I mean,
All right,
2000 years old.
ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the next site on our expedition, the Kanayama Iwaya Megaliths, otherwise known as the Japanese Stonehenge. And believe it or not, this arrangement of immense megaliths was discovered to be a solar and astronomical observatory. So what you are about to see is a man-made arrangement of stones used to observe and calculate solstices and equinoxes based on the reflection of the sun in certain areas of the megalithic configuration during these solar events. And we were driving up and I was blown away by the size of these things. And you can probably hear in the background there's a gorgeous river waterfall right behind us. And we'll walk around in this direction in just a moment, but we'll head up the pathway to this first grouping of 3 megaliths first. And these things are huge. Holy shit. And again, here's another display describing how the sun reflects off of certain areas of the megaliths. Pretty wild. My lovely wife Alexa.
This
Ancient
is crazy.
Odysseys.
Representing.
Our friend Teru. All right. The word immense doesn't even come close to describing the size of these things. Hey babe, come up here and stand by one of these. Because I don't know if just looking at it. And go up this way here. All right, and you'll see Alexa standing next to these things.
Colossal.
I mean, these things are huge, and they have been split and cut and shaped in such a way as to configure this astronomical observatory. I'm going to walk up here and take a look.
It's nothing compared to the size of a Stonehenge.
And I wish we could go in there. As with so many other sites, the inner sanctum of the structure is behind lock and key. I kind of walk around the outside here so you can get a look at this thing. And so this structure is dated to, you know, approximately 3000 BC, as they say all of this old stuff is. So in the Jomon period, which is the civilization of interest for this part of the expedition. You know, approximately the same date as Stonehenge and the construction of all these other stone circles that we've been investigating. But I don't think there's any way to definitively date the construction of this site. I mean, this thing is just absolutely massive. And the fact that they configured this thing as an observatory is a pretty mind-blowing task. And specifically to choose this site and these massive stones to carve out this observatory with the specific alignments is it is bewildering, to say the least. And there's two sets of megalithic groupings here. This is a set of 3 stones. Yeah, so this cutout here is artificial. And intentional. It's where the sun is in that specific place. Can you say what date this is tracking? This one here? Again, all this stuff is in Japanese.
Yeah.
But so you see the sun here.
Yeah.
So I think which date are they looking at here? This is solar calendar.
Yeah.
Solstice.
This one's autumn and spring and autumn
Equinox.
equinox.
Okay.
Yeah. The one before was about solstice.
Look at how crazy that is. So on the, maybe let's say autumn equinox,
Yeah.
the sun lines up specifically in this little hole right here that they've created. Again, carving this out, carving out the face of this megalith to create this portal to track the movements of the sun. That is crazy.
Yeah. It's a little bit too much hustle to do it. Just for...
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work. All right, so we're gonna go lights. I know she's over there filming. I just want to make sure. You good?
Okay.
Okay.
There's a way in.
Oh, down inside there? Ah, okay. this
I can hold some.
spider web. No, I'm good. The problem with getting down in there is getting back out. Okay. Yeah, if I were to hop down there, it would be certainly challenging to get back out. But this surface here, this is an artificially leveled surface. This is again another one of the solar alignments where the sun would reflect off of this area, and if you were inside of the cave on a certain day, the sun would illuminate the surface of this rock here.
Can you go inside?
So I could jump down there, but getting back up would be challenging. Yeah, so I just don't want to.
Does it go to the other end or not?
No, so it's basically like a little cave in here. And
oh,
do
we want to try the magnet meter?
Yeah, so we brought some gear that we're going to test out here today.
Do you have it with you there?
So again, the thing is to stand on the inside. They would have sat on the inside of this little cave and monitored the different alignments. This is crazy. So,
oh, you have it.
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to spoil the surprise quite yet. So hang on just a minute. yeah, exactly. All right. We'll be right back. Okay. So aside from the astronomy, we wanted to take a look at some other properties of the site itself. So this is a magnetometer, and what I'm looking at is total magnetic field, and keeping it away from the gear and just looking at the readout, I have a total magnetic field of approximately 38 to 39. It keeps kind of moving back and forth between 38 and 39. And I'll keep everything at the same distance. And the crazy fluctuations on the graph right there are just from me moving my device around. And now, when we come closer to the stones, there's a total magnetic field showing it's bouncing back and forth between 48 and 49, and it had gone up as high as 50. Yep, now it's bouncing back and forth between 49 and 50. So there is a measurable difference in the ambient magnetic field compared to the magnetic field surrounding these stones. And now we're going to step up away from the structure again. So now it's going back down. We're at fluctuating between 46 and 48. And now it's consistently, it's now moving back and forth between 51 and 50. Again, let me step away from everything here, down the path, and then we'll go back up in that crack. All right, so now I'm standing pretty far away. Again, the fact that they carved this stone into this specific shape as an astrological or astronomical calendar or calculator is wild. Absolutely wild. For this prehistoric Neolithic civilization to be doing stuff like this. And magnetic field here is back to 40 units. Fluctuating back and forth between 40 and 41. And we'll try over here. And it's kind of fluctuating back and forth between 42 and 43. Try back up against this one. Okay, now we're back at 50, 49.50, 49.50. Okay. Interesting. All right, so let me put the monitor away now, and we'll walk back down and check out. You want to come with me? I'll let her go first. Pretty good vantage point so you can see the entire site. And the Japanese Stonehenge. It's pretty crazy of a name. Okay, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay, careful.
Just come behind me.
Okay.
Behind me, please, please. Come on.
I'm looking.
No, like behind me, behind me. Come on.
Okay.
No, you go first. Go first, please. Go first. I think from the shape of the head, it is non-venomous, but we don't want to find out. Okay, you're good. Good, go.
Wow.
This little snake right there. Okay, this section is crazy. I mean, these things are huge. Okay. All right, and here, again, this is, I believe, tracking the North Star. Okay. Oh wow, look at this. So they carved out these 3 notches, and the sunlight lands in the 3 notches. So there's 3 notches and 3 grooves that they carved out, all to track specific alignments. And you can see that there's three grooves here, and then the 3 notches are, trying to point in the viewfinder, here, here, and here. Hey Tara, just heads up, there's a snake on top of this big one on the other side.
Yeah.
So just heads up.
What?
There's a snake up there.
Snake?
A snake, hi.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go up.
Yeah, that's what I was letting you know. Yeah. And all of these little cracks and pathways are all viewing points within this megalithic stone cluster for looking at different. Oh, here's another plaque showing an observation point here. We'll take a look at that. So there's 3 grooves on this one,
Yeah.
and 3 little divots where the sun lands in the 3 groove or the 3 divots on certain days. So they like literally carved this stone.
Yeah.
Here, go stand by here so I can see some. Go stand right here.
Okay.
Just so you can get some perspective on the size of this thing. All right, so there's Teru. And then look at the size of this rock. Crazy. Okay, let's walk through here, babe. Walk around this way, actually.
So where's the snake?
It's on the
Not here.
no, on the top of this one here, on the back side. Ah, yeah. So this crack is another. So they split this stone and moved it in such a way that they could track the position of the sun. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. All right, so I want to get the magnetic field inside of this boulder here. So I'm going to step away again. And I'm keeping the device away from the camera so that the magnetic field of the camera isn't interfering with the device. And if I keep everything at a constant distance, the fluctuation, if any, in the magnetic field will be calibrated for the magnetic field produced by the GoPro. All right, so we're at like 44, 45. Okay, if anything, it's gone down. It's now at between 42 and 41. The other way here. All right, so now we're back up to 46, 47. And this stone appears to be granite, which is what we've found at the majority of the other megalithic sites that we've explored thus far. Man, these things are massive. Holy shit. And
At least 7 meters.
yeah. And so this one here and I think it's saying that if you look up at this point here, there again, the whoever conceived of this idea to create this calendar or calculator, it is absolutely mind-blowing. And I think this is showing that the sun would shine into this little cave here on a certain day. And so now we'll walk between the megaliths and see the little cave. Okay, yep, there it is. All right, so this cave was carved, this little section here. Crazy, yeah. So it's now filled with water down in here, but this section was carved out so that the sun would illuminate this internal cavity on a specific day. So this is another viewing point here where, okay, so this was broken off. Again, now I am highly vigilant for any snakes down in here. And this is showing, so these arrows are where, Teru, what do these say over here? Hey Teru.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does this one show? So this is depicting sunbeams.
Yeah.
And that the sun,
summer solstice.
summer solstice,
Yeah.
the sun rays would come down in here
Yeah.
and land in a specific spot. And this one?
Yeah. So they're talking about like this one. That is the real like solstice, and this one is 30 days before till 30 days after. So they're showing the range of from the solstice day, 30 days before. So it swings like that to that.
Okay. And again, a magnetic field test in here. Let me go from about the same distance, arm length away. Got approximately 41 to 42. Over here on this side, 47 to 48. Okay, so there does appear to be a difference of the megaliths on this side and on this side. Not a huge difference, but so when we tested the other one, it was the same way where the megalith on this side is 40, 41, 42. And then this is 48, 49. So do you have a compass? A compass? Yeah, we left the compass in the car. But I'm imagining, you know, one of this is a north-south axis.
I mean, I have a compass in my.
Yeah, yeah. Another is an east-west axis.
So north, south.
North-south, yeah. So it appears that the magnetic field is stronger on the southern, the northern side, this direction. Yeah, facing this way. So for example, the magnetic field here was stronger than the magnetic field here. Same as over in the split between these two. When I tested this one, it was higher. This one was lower. Beautiful. All right, and then here again, just showing more alignments and how the stones were carved to mark those alignments. I didn't know what to expect when we first came out here, but this is one of my favorite ones so far. This is crazy. Yeah. Again, you have to think of the mind that came up with the idea to do this. Yeah. They found this site with all these huge, immense, megalithic boulders of granite, and they decided to carve these things into a solar calculator or calendar. It is wild to think about the brain that came up with this idea. This is crazy. And then this one here, the central grouping, you see this groove here. The cave here, and this flat face here. And let me go back down to the display. So, Tara, to go back to your question, did they move some of these in place? You know, you would think it would be very hard to just find a group of natural stones that were in the exact place that you needed it to create this type of calculator or calendar. So, for example, this one, you would think they would have had to move that into place, which, I mean, this is bigger than any, you know, not
definitely the biggest.
It's huge. I mean, we're talking, you know, as big as anything moved in Egypt in terms of weight. It might not be as long as the unfinished obelisk, for example, but the total mass of this thing is,
It's bigger.
it's huge. So again, here's this configuration with the sun aligning directly into the groove here. The sun beaming down directly into the cave here, the artificial cave down here. And the sun reflecting off of this flattened surface. So this was originally a huge boulder that came around here, and they cracked off the surface of this boulder to expose this face precisely. So I'm a little bit just bewildered to imagine cracking the stone precisely so that it accurately aligns with the sun reflecting on the surface of the stone on a specific day. Not to mention the work that went in up here, which tracked the alignment in another direction. So, I mean, this is beyond what I had expected this site to be. And looking up at these things, it's pretty wild to imagine a ancient prehistoric Joman person coming up with the idea to do this. That's a brilliant mind. And some pretty sophisticated astronomical knowledge and skill to execute this with the precision required to make it accurate it's mind-blowing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's it for this episode. This was a wild one and one of my favorites thus far. From the Kanayama Megaliths. So before we leave the site for today, one more final note on the significance of these solar calendars. And I guarantee you that if they studied this site further, they would also find lunar alignments, both sun and moon tracking in the same structure, exactly like we find at Stonehenge. So why did they do this? Twofold. One, for planning the agricultural season. Everything is predicated upon precise timing for the agricultural season, the production of food. Second, we know that solar and lunar tides are both directly associated to the Earth's telluric currents and lightning. And we've revealed in the series of Sunday site visits during this expedition that lightning is specifically connected to ancient Japanese agriculture, and they were using these stone circle systems and white horse hills to create cumulonimbus thunderstorm clouds to generate lightning, which created atmospheric nitrates, fertilizer for that agricultural season. It will all come full circle during this expedition. Again, justification for all of the immense amount of work and planning that went into exquisitely carving out this granite, solar, and I would bet lunar calculator and calendar here at the Japanese Stonehenge. Planning for the agricultural season and specific timing for the calibration of their cumulonimbus thunderstorm white horse generators that produce lightning and atmospheric nitrogen fertilizers. All right, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, you can pick up a copy of the book and grab some merch at thelandofchem.com. The second edition Egyptian blue version is now back in stock. Same text as the first edition, just a new color design and a brand new merch drop. Inazuma Kagaku, lightning, chemistry. Absolutely gorgeous kanji calligraphy designed by my Japanese tattoo artist Shin at Funky Guns in Kobe, and all of your favorites, including stickers. Links to everything in the video description below. Thank you all so much for the support. Now, back to the video.
Now, to begin, I will take you with me to an extremely secretive structure located at the top of Mount Roko, a mountain range that is shrouded in fascinating mythology, including the bizarre and mysterious language known as Katakamuna, an ancient writing system based on energy formations that is said to encode the geometry, mathematics, and physics creating the architecture of the universe, dating back to 20,000 BCE, that was discovered on Mount Roko when, I will quote here, after World War II, Nagasaki was conducting a survey of electrical potential measurements in various regions. In 1949, Nagasaki was conducting research on measuring Earth electricity for 64 days near Mount Kincho in the Roko Mountains. Does any of this sound familiar? He was barking up the exact same tree that I have been investigating in the same area of Mount Roko. More on this in a future episode. We then traveled to the head end of the Dragon Temple complex in Nara to drink the sacred water at the Omiwa Jinja Shrine at Mount Miwa, before investigating a perplexing structure known as Ikazuchi Hill, literally translating to Thunder Lightning Hill, upon which we may have inadvertently summoned a massive thunderstorm that began to descend upon the site as we explored barefoot. So now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I hope you enjoy Sunday Site Visit 93, Stone Technology of Kobe, Osaka, and Nara, Japan.
Quite the adventure getting up here, huh?
It sure was. That was exciting. We made it.
I won't go into great detail at what it took
Never give up.
to get up here, but yeah, never give up. All right. I can already tell that we're at a very, very special site. And we're right near the apex of Mount Roko. Holy shit. All right. So first, the giant lightning symbol covered megalith that you can see in front of me. And this thing is at the top of a hill, the absolute highest peak of anything around here. And I was able to find a translation of the inscriptions here. Wow. Yeah.
So cool.
This is, again, wait till I turn around and you'll see the primary reason for us coming here. But let me read you the mythology regarding this massive piece of stone. This gentle yet noble megalith was descended from heaven on Mount Roko a long time ago. This is an ancient festival site built with huge stones in the ancient times when shrines were not built using wood. In other countries, it is called a menhir, or a standing stone. or in the nomenclature applicable to ancient Egypt, an obelisk or a lightning rod. Huge stones called iwasaka are laid out like a henge around this stone, shaped like stone circles that served the gods. Stonehenge in England and the Karnak stones are famous examples. God descended to the earth and joined forces with the god of the earth at this site. So now let me show you this. Look at this stone circle. And yes, it is snowing. Everything up here is absolutely frozen. Whoa, there's some pretty weird stuff up here. All right, so let me show you this. What the? No wonder they, well, I won't say what I was about to say, but let's just say that this is a site that is extremely difficult to access. And what the hell is this?
Should we go look in the porthole?
Well, look at the top of it. You see that three-pronged copper thing at the top there?
You're right. I've never seen anything like that.
Crazy.
Hello.
So that's most likely the cap of like a water tank or something of that nature that's buried underneath there, but I mean, make it a little less weird looking. Of course, here's the shrine and the Torii Gate that mark this sacred location. I am so glad we didn't give up on the way to come up here, because some pretty severe obstacles to access this site. Look at this. So we can do, it looks like granite, because I can see the quartz inclusions in this little center stone. It looks like there's several stones here in the center. And I'm just pulling out my magnetometer here to see if we can get any magnetic reading. Nothing expected due to the fact that this is granite, but it's always an interesting test to run. Yeah, it looks like the stones are the same as the ambient field. I will say it is a pretty wild sensation to be standing up here on the top of this hill. This is the first site on our Osaka expedition today. And again, I'm really glad we didn't give up. I was seeing on Google Maps that it said that this is a secret site and not even the employees know that this is here. So now that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that man was like, oh.
Yeah, he had no idea. So let's say we just had to circumvent some things. Oh wow, this is and it almost looks like it has a capstone on there. This piece sitting on the top. Beautiful configuration of stones here. Look at these. And yeah, everything is frozen. Definitely not in Egypt anymore. Absolutely beautiful stone circle arrangement. This may be one of my favorite sites that we've visited thus far in Japan.
We're at extremely high elevation.
Yeah, super high elevation. You should have seen the incredibly steep winding mountain roads to even get anywhere close to this site, let alone what we had to do to get up here. And I may show you, well, no, I don't want to show you or document that, but it was a bit tricky finding the way up here. But this is by far the highest peak anywhere in the vicinity.
For sure.
Perfect spot for your stone circle positive charge accumulator and your giant megalith menhir standing stone obelisk lightning rod. Again, this again, I don't know what the hell this is. I would imagine there's a tank or some sort, but it doesn't look like. Let's see if there's an access on the side.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there is an access on the side here. Yeah, so you can, yeah, it's most likely a storage tank, but
Let's go look.
I mean, hey, no.
There's no blood for it.
Oh, okay, well. I mean, make it look a little less like a spaceship, huh? The fuck? And you can see there's actually a, that's a copper lightning rod on top of this thing.
Definitely. It's all corroded.
That makes me wonder even more what's down inside this thing. Come on. All right. So, as cold and frozen as it is up here, I think I'm gonna take my shoes off real quick. She went to go look in the window. Couldn't see anything inside of there. All right, yeah, I gotta stand barefoot in the middle of this thing. There's one thing that is incommunicable about being at these sites via video footage is the energy of standing around these structures. And I can say this is a super powerful structure. So before we make our way back down, I want to take a quick walk around up here. Again, everything is frozen. Ground is frozen. I'm going to do a little circumambulation around the stone and in the middle of the stone circle. Yeah, as we druids do. Beautiful. Look at that with the snow falling. Hope you can see the snow. Gorgeous. All right, now that I have no feeling in my toes, one more walk. Man, that is just beautiful. Japan is looking more and more like the UK and Ireland with every site. I am somewhat in awe of this site. It may not look like much, and it may be just, you know, what it took for us to get up here, but man, I love these stone circle sites because they're older than all of the Egyptian pyramids. The older the technology, the more fascinating it is to me. All right.
That was awesome.
You ready to go back down the... All right, we'll do one more shot of the lightning symboled megalith here. All right, just stop number 1 on today's expedition to explore the ancient sites of Kobe, Osaka, and Nara. All right, next site on the Kobe, Osaka, Nara ancient Neolithic stone technology expedition. And it's not the shrine. I'm pretty sure what we are looking for is up this pathway. And it's either up this way or down through the bamboo forest this way. So yeah, there's a pathway down there and a pathway up here. This way for now. All right, now just walked right up on the damn thing. It's like literally 2 steps away from where I just cut off. I guess we picked the right path, both literally and metaphysically speaking. Boom. Look at this. This granite structure here is known as the Ishi no Hoden tumulus. And you may remember that name, Ishi no Hoden, from our site visit to the Ishi no Hoden floating stone. Ishi meaning stone, no meaning of, so it's the stone of Hoden, and it's in this same area. And the reason I wanted to include this on our expedition is because I'm still trying to determine, you can see here, man, this is so reminiscent of what came around later in Egypt. You can see there was a joint or a hinge of some sort that was, you can see there's a circular depression here that would have led all the way up to its matching component hinge piece here. Most likely a piece of metal perhaps that covered this. Yep, you can see here this is a shaped piece here. You can see that there's the remnants of a hinge, or basically a door would have fit this thing right here. This is the bottom piece of the hinge, the top piece of the hinge here. It all would have fit precisely into this thing, completely sealing off this granite housing. And you know, this is conventionally described as a burial. The reason I wanted to see this thing is because when I saw this on the map in preparation for the expedition, it reminded me of what we saw at Masuda Iwafune in terms of the excavation of cavities into large pieces of granite. So I got a very similar impression from what they were attempting to do with Masuda Iwafune and then what we have here. Now, I'm not 100% on board with the idea that this is in fact a tomb. I read a very interesting book on the way to Japan called The Seed of Knowledge Stone of Plenty that talked about these chambers. So I also don't think that this was a chemical reactor either. Very different from the Ishibute structure, the passage chamber structure that had the channel leading into it. That I do think was to facilitate chemical reactions similar to the passage chamber mounds of England and Ireland that were for the production of ferrous sulfate. Now, the author of that book proposed, again, Seed of Knowledge, Stone of Plenty, proposed that some of these very simple chambers, like what you can see here, could have been for seed DNA modification and enhancement. A really, really fascinating book that touched on some of the same mechanisms of operation that I've been discussing. Again, it did have an enclosure here. There's blatantly evident that there was a hinge piece here. There would have been a closure here that would have opened and closed. Certainly could have been a burial structure. I mean, it's about the size of a body that could have fit in there. Again, the reason this was of particular interest to me is the similarity between what we have here and what we were examining at the Masuda Iwafune, that massive stone with the two housings excavated from it. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is not the only structure here in the area. All right. And I think you can see why the similarity between the excavations into the Masuda Iwafune stone and this structure are quite apparent, and why this had my interest. We also saw in the Masuda Iwafune the excavation of a potential closure, a sliding mechanism, as Alexa quite astutely pointed out. Very good job on that. That there looked like there may have been something that was intended to slide into that housing, that dovetailed or rebate type of sliding locking mechanism. All right, on to the next one.
All right, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video, and please remember to subscribe for more content if you're interested in the technology of ancient civilizations utilizing physics and chemistry, and the function of the Egyptian pyramids and other ancient structures from around the world. If you want to help support the channel, you can pick up a copy of the Land of Chem book and grab some merch at thelandofchem.com, and for access to exclusive content, subscribe to the members-only channel now with 19 massive research episodes revealing some of my most groundbreaking discoveries thus far. Links to everything in the video description below. Thank you all so much for the support. Now, back to the video.
All right. Now, for the next stop on the expedition. And my beautiful wife Alexa, Ancient Odysseys, and we kind of mistimed this. Well, not mistimed, maybe perfectly timed is the way to say it. As Japanese people love to make shrine visits for the new year, and this place is packed. So we are now heading toward the Omiwa Jinja shrine at Mount Miwa, and we are here today. Well, several reasons. First, see the customary bow. All right, and you can see this beautiful walkway. All right, so the reason we're here, during our September 2024 research expedition, we visited a site known as the Sakafune Ishi and the Turtle Stonework. And we were very, very fortunate to have an extremely well-educated guide with us that day, who informed us that those two stoneworks were actually connected into an artificial pyramid structure. And that pyramid was located at the tail end of what he called a dragon temple. So now we're back, and there are three components to this dragon temple. And to any of you that have been following closely, this should be sounding very familiar to the Serpent Temple complex at Avebury. And we're walking fast because daylight is running out and we still have a few more sites to visit today. Lanterns are lit. I'm trying not to film in front of me so as not to be disrespectful to any of the shrine patrons. So Mount Miwa is said to be the head end of the Dragon Temple complex. Yeah, the cleansing shrine over here. And the layout of the Mount Miwa Shrine Complex. And there's a lot to investigate here, but our main objective is to come drink the sacred healing water from the spring of Mount Miwa. And look at this. Again, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I definitely didn't see that the last time we were up here. But look at this. Look at that. It's a huge snake or a dragon. I'll get a little bit closer. Awesome. Again, we're here at the head end of this Dragon Serpent Temple complex. And I'll be doing a full research episode breaking all of this down soon. Just making sure she's still with me here. Now, I don't remember exactly I think yes, correct. Yes. All right, so we're trying to find the shrine with the sacred spring. All right. Now, once again, we are on the right path. Oh no. Maybe around. All right. We're gonna find our way up there. We came all this way. There's no way I'm gonna miss it now. All right. Yeah, it looks like there's a detour, but of course we can't read Japanese, so the rule of thumb is if you can't read the signs, you can go wherever you want. All right. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. The inner sanctum of the temple shrine. The Shimenawa. Hi, arigato. And here it is. The sacred Mizu. All right, here we go. You'll notice that this whole thing is made out of granite. This whole base is all granite. Bottoms up. All right. Mission accomplished. And the sacred healing waters of Mount Miwa at the Omiwa Jinja Shrine have been consumed.
I feel great.
Yeah, it's you know, I don't know whether that's placebo effect or what, but it's pretty good water. And this shrine and temple complex are deserving of an entire research episode that we simply don't have time for today in this site expedition footage, because now we will leave the head end of the dragon to proceed to the next component of this Japanese serpent temple complex, a structure that was revealed to us by our guide at the Sakafune Ishi pyramid site, a structure known as Thunder Hill. Of course, appropriately named. All right, see you at the next one. All right, so we just arrived, and you can see here that the street name is Ikazuchi, which means thunder. And this structure here is the Thunder Hill. Now in Japanese we have the word kaminari, which means like thunder lightning, so these two things go hand in hand. And I'm very interested to get to the top of this thing so we can scope it out.
In 200 meters, turn right.
Where does this have us going? All right.
Oh, it has a moat.
Yeah, it does appear that there is a giant reservoir that may have surrounded this thing. Now there's also tons of kofun here in the area. And the kofun are also typically surrounded by a reservoir. And I'm assuming we're going to turn right.
Take
again.
the next right.
Yep. Over this bridge.
And we've had quite the adventure today here in the little chimney.
Oh, it did so well. I was loving it.
Some super sketchy.
In 200 meters, your destination will be on the left.
All right,
On
just
the
straight away.
left. Oh yeah, right up here. Okay. Yeah, show the people that.
Oh, right behind this house here.
Fat guy on a little moped.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Ikazuchi?
Kazuchi.
Ikazuchi.
I think we're just gonna have to find somewhere to park.
The tiniest.
Your
Yeah, again,
destination
if you
is on
don't-
the left.
Fire sister. Let's get a pass. I think this is suitable.
Yeah, well, I mean, it will be quick. Maybe. They can get by.
Does that sign say no parking?
I can't read Nihongo.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, context clues are important when traveling in foreign countries. And also Google Translate goes a long way. We found a perfect parking spot right at the base of the hill.
Oh, beautiful garden.
There it is. Thunder Hill. The body of the Dragon Temple complex. And there's a bunch of what look to be artificial hills in this area, Kofun and other mysterious structures that are interconnected in this landscape. And I'm just getting out my Google Translate here so we can decipher the hieroglyphs.
Did you decipher it?
Cold out here.
Tip and nibble.
All right. If the emperor were a god, he might live in a hut atop the thundering clouds of heaven. The great prince is a god, so he has built a temporary palace of thunder in the clouds. This is a poem written by Hitomaro entitled "When the Emperor Appears on the Thunder Hill." And the emperor is generally considered to be Emperor Tenmu. These two guys, Nihon Shoki and Nihon Ryoki, recorded that this was a sacred hill where the legend of the thunder god descends, and the name Thunder Hill seems to have originated from this.
Snaps for that one.
Seems applicable to the topic at hand, no? And on the top of this hill, here's the badass little chimney. So we're gonna hike to the top of this thing. Yeah, and I absolutely get the impression that this is an artificial structure. Again, it's like a friggin' Blair Witch Project up here. What is this thing? All right, so we have a good flattened surface over here. And this may be one, well, it'll be tough to, look at how beautiful that is. This one would be tough to investigate on Google Earth due to the fact that it's completely covered in trees. Yeah, this is definitely an artificial structure. It's shaped like it's a triangle shape. It's pointed on this end. There's a raised platform here So we have multiple levels. And I should do a drawing of this thing and I'll put it in here. Do a little test. I was just testing the magnetic field on this.
What's the ambient?
I mean, this is way higher up here, so usually you'll get readings of like 40. The magnetic field up here is 55. And it's fluctuating. You know, I can move it. It's here is 40. Here is 55.
Oh, that's a big variation from what we've
It's
seen.
a huge variation of magnetic field up here. All right, so of course, you know, we got to do what we always do at these sites. Old Thunder Hill. All right, so we've been walking around up here barefoot, and now my mind is really going. So around the perimeter, we have this type of tree here, and there's some bamboo. But at the top of the hill, you can see all of these trees here, which are all the same type of tree. And all of these trees have been planted up here. That's what all this wooden structural support is. You can see all of these trees have this wood surrounding them. There's another one. This one is a newer addition here. All the same type of tree. So whatever the hell this thing is that we are now standing on top of, I was just saying to Lex that, you know, I wish that there was more archaeological investigation. I mean, take a GPR scanner out here and see what's inside of this thing. But look at these. Whatever this is that we're standing on top of, they do not want the top of this thing excavated. Hence the planting of all of these trees at the top of this hill. Why the hell would they plant a bunch of trees up here? This whole grove of trees at the top of this hill. see a little Japanese something over here. And Lex is walking around. We're both barefoot, and she's checking the magnetic fluctuations around the structure. How's it looking?
Pretty consistent on this here, but here the point is higher.
The point is higher? Okay, do a Google Translate of this here. I wonder if it's, yeah. I wonder if it says either what type of tree these are. Let's see here.
Leaping. Mountain Parade.
Mountain Parade. Any of my Japanese followers in the comments section below, let us know
Help.
what that means. Mountain Parade, it just said Yamamoto conducts. Oh. No, that's, I don't think that's the right. Yamane conducts. I'm glad I just, what does this mean? And I'll send this to Teru also. Hold that up there again. I don't know whether it's Mountain Parade or Yamane.
Oh, what?
Something to travel to the mountain. Here, let's. I don't know, it said something about, it flashed up there for a moment about traveling to the mountain. Yeah. Something very, very unusual and compelling about this structure. This whole grove of trees is planted up here. If these trees hadn't been planted, this would be a completely open, flat space on top of this thunder lightning hill. And when I was doing my investigation prior to this expedition, I saw that right near here there's also a place called Kaminari Community Center, which is like Lightning Community Center. I think this whole area is like Thunder Lightningville. And of course, as we're standing on top of this thing, there's a big cloud rolling in here. Definitely would not want to be anywhere on top of this thing if a thunderstorm rolled in here. So, yeah, I remember there was a comment. Somebody was like, "Yeah, are you ever afraid of getting struck by lightning out at these places?" You know, usually it's pretty good weather, but I don't like the look of that cloud.
Remember Queen Maeve's?
And yeah, Queen Maeve's. We're on the top of Queen Maeve's cairn. In the pitch black darkness on Halloween, and a storm started to roll in, and we got the hell off of that mountain with the quickness. All right, So with that being said, that's exactly what we're going to do, is get the hell off of this thing.
That's getting dark.
Yeah, it's getting very dark very quickly. The wind is picking up. All right, that's that's our signal. We're out. A signal to get the hell off of this thing.
What if we captured it?
All right. Maybe we awoke the dragon. All right. Yeah, the wind is picking up. It is super dark and ominous out here right now. Again, here is the peak of the shape. Well, I'm sure you can hear that wind. Okay, and then here is the elevated platform. It's probably about 6 feet from here to here. You can see again the peak here, this elevated platform. It is definitely a triangular shape with the peak in this direction and the bigger end out here. All right, let's get the hell out of here. And this indentation in the middle is very unusual. This section here, there's a little valley here that dips down between this triangular apex here and this wider section back here. And I want to get a shot. See, that is a storm cloud that just rolled in. See if we can get a shot of that before we leave. Look at that. All right, so look at how clear and beautiful it is over here. And then look at that.
It's gonna rain too at Albacete.
Look at that. Rolling in right on top of us. I mean, it's almost literally right above the. Holy shit! That's fucking crazy. What? Again, I think we awoke the dragon. Yeah, I would not want to be anywhere near the top of that hill. All right, so with that being said, we're out. And as we roll out of here, I mean, this thing is literally just right above the hill. There, you film.
You can see it falling here. Ominous. Maybe that's what that little lady was warning us.
Old lady was warning us. Don't stay on the hill too long.
What's next?
So next we head to Osaka for our favorite Japanese restaurant.
Cheesy mochi.
So good. Bacon cheese mochis.
Best thing ever.
Gonna be awesome.
Let's go.
All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. This was Sunday Site Visit 127, Megalithic Technology of Ancient Japan. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and in the next episode in the series, I will take you with me to investigate the secrets of ancient Malta. This is an episode you do not want to miss, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube, and remember to click that little notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos. Like, comment, share, hype the video, and stay tuned. If you want to help support the channel and get access to some exclusive research content, please consider subscribing to the members only channel. And if you want to pick up a copy of the book or grab some merch, check out thelandofchem.com. Links in the video description below. If you want to follow me on Instagram or on X, my handle is @thelandofchem. Also, don't forget, after you finish watching this video, please go subscribe to our 3 other channels. My beautiful wife Alexa's channel, Archeoalchemy, our mutual travel, adventure, and culinary experience channel, Let's Go with Lex and G, and the best channel on YouTube, Egyptian Trash Cats, for all you cat lovers out there. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you all so much for the support. I think that's it for today's episode. I will see you next time. Yo, are you still watching this? Please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button. New videos coming out every single week. And check out this other episode. Come on, do it. Do it now.